You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back in to another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast. Joined by Brett Cable once again. Chris is going to hop in. That's kind of why we got the awkward window up there. And then my dad is going to join later on as well. He was at the game, so this is an historic win, great win, dominating win, and I couldn't be more happy. Joined by member Thomas as well. Thomas, welcome in, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Glad to be Thomas. Welcome in, man. Real quick, how'd you find our show? Because you were commenting a lot, man. I thought, man, he really knows his stuff. So
I caught on with the train of Franklin's firing. I started looking into the YouTube channels to see, what was the next scoop, who would be the next coach. Because honestly, I was always a Penn State fan at heart. Big college football fan. Love seeing Pitt. Love seeing Ohio State. I know that might not be the best thing to say on this, but I really enjoyed the commentary on this show, and to which played football up and down the East Coast and in PA. So love seeing the good conversation that we have here.
Yep. All right, man. Awesome. First of all, I want to welcome Gus Johnson back. So Gus is back, Brett. Gus is back, so welcome back, Gus. It's good to have you on. And we also got a big win tonight, so Gus is here to join us. Gus first made an appearance on the show after Michigan beat Ohio State last year, and we were playing the Michigan fight song pretty much the whole episode. So, Gus, welcome back in, man. You have anything to say? All right. Didn't think so. Chris, welcome back in.
What's up?
Chris is joining us too. So, guys, big win tonight. Kaytron gets the rushing record.
Yep.
Grunk looked good.
Yep.
Kaytron had 2. Nick had 2. Grunk had 160 yards, 6.4 yards a carry. Nick had 44 yards, 6.3 yards a carry. Just overall, it was a great game. So Nick Singleton was our leading receiver. We utilized our weapons. Our offense looked totally night and day from really what it's looked since Franklin was hired. Looked like a Penn State offense, and they were chanting Terry's name. Terry Smith, I'm just really proud of him and everything that he's doing. All the Letterman, all the a lot of the Letterman and Mike Robb with the halftime show tonight. He said, "I'm tired of coaches coming in here and using this program for money." Thank you, Mike Robb, for calling out Franklin. And then he said, I've contacted hundreds of people, Letterman, all across the board. They all want Terry Smith. So I'm going to try to stay neutral with it, but I wouldn't mind that. So, but real quick, guys, I want to have you guys on tonight to talk and give your piece. Whoever wants to come on, email me at markleskopodcast@gmail.com, and I will send you a link, and you guys can come on, give your piece for 2 minutes, and then hop off. But whoever wants to come on, just shoot me an email, and I will send you the link. If there's anything other than just, PG commentary, then I'm going to kick you off immediately. So who wants to start? Give their thoughts.
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Penn State football. Jason Cabinda tweeted it out. He said, "This looks like Penn State football," right? And at that point we were up like 30-3 or something. And we took our foot off the gas a little bit, which I understand. We were just running the ball, giving it to Nick and Fat. We didn't really need to throw it. Grunk was, 11 for 12, 181. So 1 incompletion. Right. You'll take that all day. I like how he was more aggressive. Like leaving the pocket. He threw it to Rapp in the end zone, giving Rapp a shot for it. Obviously a horrible pass interference, so he didn't catch it. But, the play calling was much better. Like there weren't too many play calls where I was like, what are we doing, right? Like it looked much more clean football, simplified. They did throw our favorite quarterback, Liam Clifford, in there for a play or two as quarterback. Just to hit the Kaytron, but
Brett, do you think with someone asked me about Drew Aller, if he was playing right now, would he be better? And he would be better than he was, but he would not be better than Gronk. I think Gronk has a big future. I think he's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
and I said that in week 2, just for the record.
Yeah, Gronk's great. It's really hard to say, man. We can't Drew's hurt. He's been hurt for a little while now. Like it's really hard to say what he would look like. But Drew's first game,
just comparing to what he did before. That's all. With Terry Smith as the head coach,
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get to play under Terry though. So as the head coach, that's what I'm saying. So, but the way I'm looking at it is Drew Aller's first game against West Virginia. He had 300 plus yards, couple touchdowns, looked really clean. And ever since then, there's been flashes, but you guys know the rest of the story. It's already been written. So, but I mean, Drew's on the sideline having a good time in a coaching role, just probably talking to Gronk and making sure he's seeing certain things. And I like him in that role on the sideline. I think that's good for positivity to keep the boys going. But yeah, Gronk looked really good tonight. Nebraska's defense looked just atrocious, really bad.
They did not.
I don't know.
That was total dominant. I think I don't know if it was domination, but they took it to him 100%.
They took it to him. But Nebraska's played other teams decently hard, but they had no shot. In the first half, you could just see it. We were beating the crap out of them. On the offensive and defensive line, just Yvonne Kemeju going crazy, Zane Durant, Denai Dennis Sutton. The guys were going strong. Offensive line played well. They made Nebraska's defensive line look like they were still in high school or something. It was bad. I mean, Kobe Howard, I don't know if he started, but he basically started. He got that nice catch. It seems like Kobe Howard's good for a 30-yard catch, and then you don't really see him again. But he's in there blocking and doing stuff. So I mean, it's not like he's a complete ghost. But they tried to scheme open Pena and Kyron Hudson a couple times too. So overall, really good game from Penn State. This was a pride game for the seniors, for Terry Smith, for all the coaches on the staff right now. Jim Knowles was having fun with it. Cole Mickey didn't look like he worked at IHOP today completely. So that's a good news, right? So yeah, I'm pleased with how the guys fought, and
Chris, I don't know how long you plan on being on here, so go ahead and give your piece.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, the game couldn't have went much better than what it did. It was, back to, I mean, it was the best they looked all year, they looked in rhythm. The first 3 games, they, when we played the cream puff teams, we blew them out, but you could tell something didn't look right with the offense. The offense at least looked in sync and it looked right this time. But, so a couple things, I said when Gronk was signed, I said he will end up being better than Drew Aller because Drew had a huge upside, but I saw flaws in him right from the get-go. The thing with Gronk is he has flawless mechanics. I followed him all on the camp circuit. I followed him when he was with his he worked out with Coach Mandler a little bit. He was at the Elite 11, and the one thing about him was his mechanics were the most consistent mechanics just out there. And you don't see Gronk throwing off his back foot like Drew does. You don't see him getting sloppy with his mechanics. So I've been big on Gronk for a long time. Just so people know, John Butler was Nebraska's defensive coordinator. John Butler was the defensive coordinator at Penn State under O'Brien, and his defenses look the same way today as they did when they were with O'Brien. Like receivers just running free, just a very, very weak defense, just sloppy, just like too many gaps in the secondary. So, I mean, not to throw shade at the win, they look good. But it was John Butler for people that don't know. The Terry Smith thing. Now, here's the thing. I still think it's going to be hard that they actually hire him. If they don't get Kalen DeBoer, I would hire Terry Smith. And here's why the case I'll make. Because everybody's going to say people are overreacting to just one emotional win. It's a lot more than that. Keeping your players, this young talented team intact is so vitally important to rebuilding for next year. And we don't have a strong schedule next year. This rebuild could happen really quick if you keep this young team intact, you hit the portal hard, you get some missing pieces. This could be a playoff team next year. We don't play Oregon, we don't play Ohio State, we don't play Indiana, we don't play Iowa. We have an easy schedule. You got it. I would hire Terry Smith to keep this team intact. Number one. Number two, he's been one of the best recruiters in the country. And under Franklin, the past 10 years, he's been the number one recruiter on the staff. He's the number one recruiter on the staff. And he's making the necessary adjustments out there. You could see the differences, just as, like we've been talking about. He ran Kaytron more. He made it a point to push the ball downfield more and get a vertical passing game. Defensively, I don't remember where it was, if I read it on a message board or somewhere, but I heard this past week that he, I guess, went to Knowles and he wanted to install some Manny Diaz type of aggressiveness, some Manny Diaz schemes. And I don't know if you guys remember when Manny was here, but in Manny's defensive line on run defenses, he would rush gaps with his defensive tackles. It wasn't always like, it was kind of like rushing on slants. You would see 2D tackles rush gaps to one side where the linebackers would clean up the other side. And I recognize that tonight. Not all game, but I recognize that early on. Like, you could see Terry knew how to make the adjustments. And the thing is, there's no slam dunk hires out there outside of maybe Kalen DeBoer. There's no guarantee Brent Key, I like Chesney, but Chesney, Brent Key, Drinkowitz, who I think is probably out of it. I don't think any of these guys are slam dunk hires better. And something I'm going to say here that goes against the grain, but this is for the workforce in general, not just coaching. Experience is important, but it's sometimes overrated. And here's what I mean by that. You get a job. Terry Smith's been in the coaching business for a long time. You get a new job. You learn the ropes the first couple months, 2-3 months. Once that kicks in, your work ethic is what takes over. And that's what separates people. That's what separates coaches. And obviously your intelligence and knowing what to do. Like, you see in the workforce, people that might have been around in the job 10, 15 years that have all this experience, but they're just lazy and they're not the brightest guys and they just barely skate to get by and collect a paycheck. And then there's other guys that are younger and hungry. And so experience, sometimes it's not everything. So if we couldn't get Kalen DeBoer for the simple fact of Terry earned this, he would keep our team intact. We would have the best roster going forward into 2026 with Terry Smith. Made the right adjustments. The guys will run through a brick wall for him. And he's a confident guy that you could trust on getting the job done. So that's my case for Terry Smith.
All right, Chris. Chris, do you want to stay on? You want to hop off? What do you want to do?
I'll stay on for a little bit. I'll let you know if I got to roll.
All right. Yeah, my dad, Mark Sr. is joining us.
Yeah.
Again, he was at the game. He graduated. Dad, this is Chris Gorky.
How are you, sir?
Watched him.
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
And this is Thomas James. He's a viewer, a member, and he found the show through, I guess, the algorithm. And this is Brett. You know Brett.
Hi, Brett.
What's going on?
So, all right, Chris. Yeah. So, again, Dad graduated in '87. He's a diehard Penn State fan. He worked there for 35 years. I went to Penn State. This is a diehard Penn State house. Thomas, you haven't gotten to talk yet, so I want you to give your piece on the game, and then we'll get Dad's thoughts, and he can tell us what it was like there, in person. So.
Well, I want to thank Brett and I want to thank Chris for really talking it up really well. And without going into any of the X's and O's about things too much into the weeds, I would like to say that it just seems like with Grunk, there was a different pace, like what Chris said. With Aller, it was kind of slow to the ball, snap the ball, execute the play. With Grunk, the offense is way more intentional. It just seems like there's this bigger rhythm as the game goes on. And what tonight showed was that both offensive and defensive lines dominated. They just completely took over the game. 53 had a nice pancake block on one of these outside zone plays. I think Andy Kotelnicki just threw out his entire playbook and was like, Terry, whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
You want Michigan State? This is your team. These guys really are going to you. Let's just play this. Let's just play this game.
Yep.
The double H back look, the two tight ends off the line of scrimmage, and the counter tray look, the outside zone look, that was USC Mike Riley-esque, and honestly, nobody's running it better than him, and we ran it to perfection tonight. The 60-yard run by Allen in the first quarter to cap off the first drive, I mean, that was beautiful. The Wildcat wrinkles with Allen to set up, then Singleton running the ball later was a great 1-2 punch that you really didn't see effective the whole entire year. And with that, like flipping it onto the defensive side of the ball, first quarter, the defensive front seven held the running back for Nebraska in check. And once they got a lead, it was pass rush city for Penn State. There wasn't any give to that. Number 2 had one heck of a game defensively. He came up and made some hits. Running backs and wide receivers played an excellent game on defense. But it's a commendable job to the entire coaching staff, including Terry. We give Andy Kotelnicki a hard time, but I think right now he's humble. He's been humbled himself from the firing to everything that's gone on. And I think Knowles too. I mean, talking about what Chris was saying about incorporating some of the Manny Diaz type blitzes, stunts. They started running these TE stunts with their line, and DDS got another sack tonight later in the game. But you finally started to see your front four really overtake an offensive line that is pretty solid. And I mean, that's a good coaching staff over there in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. They did not play a very good offensive game, but I really think that tonight Terry really solidified a lot of things. He really put it in a lot of people's hearts that, man, he might be the right person to lead 2026 with everything going on with the recruits in 2026. I mean, you had players holding up hire Terry, hashtag hire Terry.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to see. And one thing that I saw post game too, maybe one last thing. There wasn't a lot of people in the stands. It was a cold night.
I noticed
Yeah.
that too.
Like the top half of the bowl wasn't really full.
Yeah, the student section was kind of empty. They all went home for break.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, and you had some goings around that might be a whiteout. It might have had, there might have been some fanfare that, last game of the season, senior night. But I'd rather be in a Beaver Stadium like that and be able to focus as a player and as a coach and not having the weight of the world on me than having full stand, full fanfare, the Franklin coach team with the Oregon game. It was
yeah,
it was something to see as an old coach doing old coach things for a good organization. I'm very thankful to see that Penn State is starting to really flip their script, and where they could have folded this week because of the hiring of James Franklin at Virginia Tech. They didn't. They focused, and it seemed like from start to finish they finally played a complete game against a decent team.
yep. Again, guys, if you want to call in, just email me at markleskopodcast@gmail.com. I'll send you the link. We're going to keep it PG. If you don't, I'm going to kick you off. We already had one person hit us up. So, Dad, we're going to get your thoughts. Thomas, are you staying on? Or are you just giving your piece? Or
I can come off. I can stay on if you'd like me to.
it doesn't matter, man. We're Chris. You're staying on too, and everybody can stay on. I'm just making sure. Dad, you were at the game, so how was it?
It was really nice, beautiful. Wow. I sat in my daughter and I sat in north end zone, row 4 from the field. So you're basically sitting on the field. That's how flat it is. It was a lot different at Indiana, or during the Indiana game. We were up in EFU, almost maybe 20 from the top. It's a different view up there. You either got to watch a play in the end zone or the jumbotron. So
Yeah.
it's a big adjustment. So because people are standing up and you can't see over the guy, you can't see over the defensive or offensive line to see the whole field. But it was nice. I got some notes. It's hard to tell if I like that view or the other view, but we were hollering, the fans were up. I would say there was probably 90,000 there. Like Matt or Chris or the other guy there. He said there was a lot of empty seats up there. Half the student section was empty because they went home for Thanksgiving break. It was cold, but there was some Nebraska fans around us. They were doing their chants and stuff like that, but they kind of left at the third quarter. I saw my daughter and Heather was at the tunnel. We were just standing there, and I saw Grunk go back to the locker room or whatever. He was focused. And I saw LR. Wow, he's a hurting puppy. He looked like he was in some pain there because he was on a crutch. He was walking slow. I feel bad for him, but I just hope I hope the best for him in his future. Mm-hmm. Either way, he's going to earn a college degree and a Penn State degree. So, but he looked like he was hurting. The interesting thing was, my daughter and I were standing there at the tunnel again after halftime, and they closed the gates and the whole team come through. And what was the score at halftime? Was it 24-3?
23-3.
We missed the extra point, so yeah, 23.
And then Coach Terry come in, locked arms with his two big linemen on each side, but he was so focused. I mean, holy cow. I got a video of it, and he was so focused. It looks like he was almost losing like 23-3. He was so focused, but that's just his mentality. And I'm with Chris. I mean, I always said it. I want Terry in there as a coach because he proved himself. And at the end of the game, everybody was chanting Terry, 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 and it was really exciting. I mean,
yeah,
to have somebody that graduated, say, I think 7 years after I did from Penn State, to have him as a head coach is just really exciting for me personally.
Yeah.
The quarterback for Nebraska, he just fell apart in the third quarter. He threw, I don't know where he was thrown to. There was nobody within 10 yards of where the ball landed. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Somebody
Aaron,
knocked
welcome
him.
in, man.
Hey, welcome. I appreciate it, guys. I'm glad to be here. Nice to meet you, Chris.
Yeah.
Mark Sr., Mark,
Yeah.
Brett.
Aaron,
Hey,
I'm
I'm gonna have to kick one of you guys out because I can't keep this all these windows in here,
I'll just say something else, and then I can
which
bounce
is
out.
my fault. But
I can bounce out. But, I mean, Nick Singleton, he had the most solid game I've ever seen him in the last 4 years. It was solid. He was running unbelievable. And then one more thing about Kaytron getting the all-time rushing record.
Yep.
I'm glad he didn't get it on the face mask call because it was more fitting that he got it as a touchdown and a all-time rushing record. And, you know, the ball guy chased him around and gave him the ball, so he got that ball too. So that was really nice. And I think, I don't know if it was Chris about Manny Diaz and Coach Terry implementing his defense, but Coach Terry talked about that during the press conference this week. He called it a prowler package where they're sending more ends at the same time. He did it against Indiana where he sent both ends and they crashed that quarterback. But I'm really glad he's taken up the Manny Diaz defense scheme. So, and a big thing too is what did we shut that runner? We shut that running back down for Nebraska.
he had
Because Emmett Johnson. Is that him?
He had one big run. That was
he
it.
had 100 yards. That's it.
Because
One big
Emmett
run.
Johnson, Emmett Johnson and the running back from Temple, who we play next week?
Rutgers.
Rutgers. They're both up for the Doak Walker Award. So for somebody to be up for that award, which is pretty prestigious, and we shut them down, the
Yeah,
defense showed up this week. So
100%.
it was really exciting.
Yep.
I'm glad I was on here. I can bounce off.
All right, Dad.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
I just want to say real quick, like to piggyback off what your father said regarding Terry interjecting, like I was saying, you know, they used to talk about Franklin meddling in the offense and that was a negative and blah, blah, blah. But that's a good head coach recognizes what's not working and he's supposed to meddle and fix things. And that's what Terry did. You know, he recognized what needed to be done on offense and defense, and he got the job done. So, you know, like this is more than just emotion about, you know, like I said, considering him. Another thing is, you know, Drew's looking to come back and might get a medical red shirt. That's real interesting to see what happens. Now, just imagine if Terry comes back. What does Drew do? Does he want to come to Penn State? Does he, you know, nobody knows. That's down the road. Hasn't been approved yet, but, you know, he's probably going to be approved.
Yeah,
and it'll be really interesting to see where he goes. I think they'd be crazy to go back to Drew and not stick with Grunk if he does come to Penn State. But
he probably goes to B-Tech.
whatever. That's down the road.
Yeah.
Coach Terry put that freshman
That would be the
corner
dumbest
in, too.
decision.
He didn't hesitate to
If there's a University of Alaska, I'd rather go to Alaska as a quarterback than quarterback under Franklin.
I want to say
I'd rather
this
play
too.
in Europe.
Yeah, I want to say this too. Those stupid lights that Franklin put in the tunnel. Can we take those out? Because that just reminds me of nothing that Franklin did here except put Batman lights on the scoreboards and
Listen.
put lights in the tunnel. That's all he did here. So
Terry Smith did one throwback for Frankie Boy today, and that was the fake punt. It was the same call they did against Minnesota with Luke Reynolds. And there was just a punch in the face in Nebraska. It was great.
I mean, he wiped that tackler out, man. Holy crap.
Oh, he laid him out.
And
listen, all the years Franklin coached here, did he ever win a Joe Paterno 409 pin? Nope.
No,
of course he that was pretty awesome too by Terry.
Absolutely.
Somebody mentioned on the comments there that they looked like they were playing scared under Coach Franklin.
Yep.
And
100%.
man, I could see it in Drew's face. I mean, if he made a mistake, he looked over at the sideline to see what did I do wrong. Drew might play differently under Coach Terry if he came back. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think you. By the way, do you guys know that Matt, who we were going to have on, he's coming on tomorrow. That was his sign. The hire Terry. That's his sign that he made.
Oh,
wow,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they had no offensive identity under Franklin. That's the problem. Like they literally had no offensive identity under Franklin. No. And even though Drew, the system didn't fit Drew, and he obviously deserves better. I'm just being honest. Drew's not an alpha. He's really not a take command type guy. He was always pushed to be more vocal leader. He's just not an alpha. In no offensive identity. Not really an alpha. We'll get jacked up here and there at times, but give me Grunk all the way. No questions asked.
Our identity now is pound the rock down your throat and then play action off of that, and it worked perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron, welcome in, man. Aaron called in. He gave me a shout out on Landon's show the other night. Thank you, Aaron, for that. I appreciate it.
Man.
He can bounce me out, Mark, if you want.
You guys mind this setup, this 6 window?
I'm okay with it.
I don't care. I'm fine with it.
It's kind of small, but yeah, it looks pretty good. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. Welcome in, man.
Yeah, I agree with what you're talking about, especially there, Chris, with the way that the team played not to lose when Franklin was in charge. Yeah. And we know that's not good football. And it translates on the field. You can see it with your eyes. It just doesn't – everything's difficult. Everything's hard. You could say it was kind of like Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. Everything was a struggle for him, right? When I watch this team play now, and I said this at the Indiana game, because some people were trying to argue that game looked a lot like, oh, it's another Penn State near miss, right? But if you watch that game, it was completely different. It was nothing like the way they've been playing. And, I was pointing out to somebody else that I said, like, I don't have anything against Franklin, but if you look at him, he's a coordinator's guy. If his coordinators are not just right, he's going to struggle because he's not an on the field guy. He just doesn't have it. And you can see it if you look at his record when he didn't have Joe Moorhead running that offense or Manny Diaz running that defense, he was 47-27 as head coach. Most of his losses came without those two guys on his team. So I often said, he might have success at VTech, but I think in order for him to do so, he needs the right coordinators. He's not the kind of guy who is going to get a team up to fight, and you could see it tonight, the way Terry Smith got those guys up. They were punching people in the mouth on that line of scrimmage. Yeah. And that was where the battle was really won, right? Because now they want to run the ball. If you want to run the ball, you got to win on the line. And they were winning those battles tonight.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, it came down to the line of scrimmage. I mean, this is just a I would say a dominating win. I mean, just because offensively they really, they did so much. I would say it was just for us, Penn State, it was just we executed offensively so well. And Terry Smith clearly has a grip on this team. And that makes all the difference in the world. So, I mean, this is a totally different team, guys. I mean, we're seeing young guys play. Alex Tash. We're seeing Avant Kamaju. We're seeing Chaz Coleman. Like, these guys are all playing. young guys are playing now. Franklin would not do it to his own demise. And Avon Kamaju is a great player. I mean, this is a totally different team, in my opinion. And we could win next week and then go to a bowl and win a bowl. If we win next week, we're going to a bowl. And the way this team is playing and the way Terry Smith is handling this team, I think they could win whatever, Pop-Tart Bowl, Cheez-It Bowl. Either way, I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to be eating Pop-Tarts during the Pop-Tart Bowl because who would have ever thought that we would be in a bowl? You know, like, honestly. Yeah, well, yeah, Dad said it. Yeah, Dad said it after Northwestern game. He's like, we're not out of it yet. We're not out of it yet. So
if we would have beat Ohio State and Indiana, we'd have been in the top 12.
We would.
That's what I was hoping.
And it is worth mentioning.
Beat number 1 and number 2.
To support Mark Sr.'s argument, if you look at the odds from betting odds, Penn State's still ahead of everyone in the ACC except Miami on a neutral field.
Yeah.
So they know.
People know nothing about football. When you have people like Franklin Natty, the Virginia Tech guy, hoping that Kaytron portals and goes to Virginia Tech when he has literally 0 years of eligibility left.
Well, he said just saw Kaytron and Singleton play. They might need to hit the portal and become a Hokie next year.
Yeah, they're going to hit the portal and go to the NFL.
Listen,
they have 0 years of eligibility left.
Franklin Natty, I don't know if you're a student or not, but go to the library right now and don't leave until Monday night. Go. Stay off a podcast, go to the library, and study.
We're giving you a pop quiz tomorrow, actually. Come in, stop on by. You're getting a pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Can Kaytron transfer to Virginia Tech? No, because he's ineligible to transfer.
Yeah, he has 0 years left. But hey, you're welcome to go hang out with him after this year. I mean, if he wants to go to Virginia Tech to go get his master's degree and chill with you, you could do that. But you can't play football there anymore. So if that's what you want, that's cool. But, just to go off what Aaron was saying about, how we're talking like with Franklin, no identity, and it didn't look right. So you know how I mentioned about experience being overrated? So think about this. Franklin has how many years of a head coaching experience between Vanderbilt, Penn State? He's got to have 15 years or so at least as a head coach experience.
Yeah, 3 at Vanderbilt and I think 12 at Penn State.
So in all those years, right, coming into this year, it didn't work out right. After the Oregon loss, it completely crumbled. He didn't get his team up when it was ripe for a letdown. You knew going into UCLA the team was going to be totally down. You knew, and he had to, as a coach, recognize I got to have my players up to salvage this season. He didn't, but more so, all those years' experience as a head coach, and he was clueless on how to figure out to make the adjustments to this offense and to this defense. He was clueless. Terry Smith, with 0 years head coaching experience, was able to figure out what needs to be done with this offense and this defense. So just remember that when you get all worried about experience for the head coach. It's not always work ethic, natural intelligence, is more important sometimes.
Yeah, James Franklin never misses an opportunity to mention that he coached in the SEC, the NFL, the Big Ten, the Canadian Football League. He coached professional soccer, and he was great at all of it. But it doesn't matter. So no one cares, honestly.
He has that great resume because he can't stick around anywhere except for Penn State for a little while.
He coached Brett Favre. He coached Brett Favre, or he was the receivers coach with Brett Favre. And I'm pretty sure Brett Favre had a terrible season that year, so I don't know how that helped, but
he did. You're not wrong.
yeah, exactly. So I can't. I have to move on.
Mark, I'm going to bounce out because my connection's shot, and I don't want to screw your things up. But it was nice meeting you guys. I'll catch up with you down the road.
See you, Chris.
Take care.
I'm going, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Oh, I kicked Aaron out. Hold on, Aaron. I'll get this figured out.
Make it look better with 4.
Dude, if you guys watch Steelers Central with Jared. Like, you know, or you've ever been on here with Jared, like Jared has a great show, but he can get long-winded. And I was just thinking, like, if Jared came on with all these people, you know, I don't know how that would go, but Jared, call in if you want to, man. But Aaron, you're pretty much, you know, you're kind of a permanent window on this right now. So it's good to have you on, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Sorry, I'm screwing this all up. But I'll be a little more prepared next time for all these windows.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that people are interested in coming on. You're close to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, sir.
So I'll give you an early congrats on that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yep.
Chop Robinson was at the game. I know it's random, but I just saw it.
I didn't see that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Who was?
Chop Robinson. He was at the game.
Oh, was he? Good.
Yeah, I don't know the last time he came here. It's been because he's been gone for 2 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's cool.
Aaron, do you want to say anything about Franklin real quick? Or are you good?
Yeah, I was sold on Franklin back in 2018, and it really came down to the tape. It was the tape that bothered me about him. Mm-hmm. You would watch the games, and there were just things you could see, right? It was underperforming in weird areas. It was the team just didn't look ready to play. I used to tell people, I would sadly just tell them Penn State's not going to win that game, you know, a week in advance. And I would explain to them that the reason, it's the same reason we lost to Notre Dame. It's the same reason we lose to Ohio State. We would lose those games, not because you couldn't play with them. We would lose because we would have these periods of time where the team just disappeared from the game. And it would be 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. And it happened all the time. And even in the games they won, and this is why I always, one thing I'll agree with Josh Pate on is your record does not necessarily tell us who you are, right? And, you know, Penn State would win 10 games, but you look at Bowling Green last year. They spent 30 minutes not playing the game, right? And then they had to come back at the very end. And that was constantly happening with Franklin. It was so rare to see a 60 minutes of football where the team was playing up the whole 60 minutes, right? And I remember getting that vibe from him back in 2018 and just thinking, yeah, there's something not right with the way he gets teams, with like the way he preps players, the way he gets teams ready. Something's not right here. And I was surprised in 2021 after 2 really rough years. And I know 2020, we kind of give a pass on that. But 2021, I was really surprised that they gave him an extension. Not so much, I didn't necessarily think they should fire him, but I was like, why are we giving him an extension? Mm-hmm. Right? We just went 7-6 with a team that should have been a lot better than that. And I remember thinking even then that his ability to develop players was kind of questionable to me. It seemed like players would come, and a lot of times their best game would be their first game. And Drew Aller was that example. His best statistical game was his very first game at Penn State. And you just get the feeling that, I don't know if it was what he was teaching them. I can't say for sure what it was, but there was just something wrong. They just weren't quite right. And you know, Terry Smith is kind of validating that now, right? He gets out there, puts a real coach in the situation, and suddenly the team, within a few weeks, it's like they're back to life again. And I kind of explained that to other people who were surprised by the fire. I said, well, you understand, Penn State fans weren't asking for a national title. That's news that the media made up, right? What Penn State fans wanted was for us to show life against Ohio State, for us to show some life when we play Oregon, to not lose because we didn't even show up to the game, right? Yep. And that was what he got fired for, in my opinion. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was even his record, honestly. I think it was because the team was just lifeless so much when he was in charge. And you just can't have that. It's not good football.
Yeah, 100%, Aaron. What we're seeing tonight, what we saw really the past couple of weeks, and we have gotten better. And Terry Smith, in his first week, he had 20 hours with the team. They went to Iowa and lost by 1. And we really did give them that win. We made Gronkowski, I think his name was, looked like Lamar Jackson. And then they almost beat Indiana. I mean, I can't really underestimate. I can't say how important it was. I can't say it enough how important it was that we did that, because Indiana, I think, is a really good team, and we almost beat them under Terry Smith. Now, if Franklin was the coach, I don't think there's even a remote chance if we were in the same position that happens. But like you said, Aaron, I don't know how long you've been watching us, but I've been saying it for years. Like, there's something off about this guy, Franklin. Like, we did not play good ball, like, really ever, honestly. We never played to our potential. I mean, he had an all-time running back in Saquon Barkley. And going into that season, we had so many guys on awards lists. Yep, there you go. We had so many guys on awards lists. Mike Gesicki, Trace McSorley, Saquon. So many guys were on lists that they could win. No one won anything. I mean, it was like, what happened here? So, yeah, like you just said, man, like, what we're seeing now is we are a totally different team. And to me, for Terry Smith, the case is he's here. He's recruiting. He can keep this roster together. He will make changes, I think, if he has to. Like, if he has to let a coach go, bring in someone else, bring in new guys from the portal. He's going to recruit. I think he'll make all the changes he needs. And like Chris said, experience being overrated. What we're seeing now is completely different than what Franklin did. And it's like, oh my god, like all the stuff he did, like I said, the lights in the locker room, the 1-0, or the lights in the tunnel, the 1-0, the Batman lights, and he would never win big games. But he did so much other stuff. Terry Smith is just there to coach football. He's going to coach football well, and I think he's going to have this team. I mean, to me right now, if Terry Smith is the head coach, I have not felt this way in 12 years. We can beat Ohio State. I have not felt that way really since Joe Paterno. So,
yeah, a good point about Aaron was making. An example was Indiana. I was there, Heather was there, and at halftime, a lot of fans are kind of leaving, and the guy behind me, a fan behind me, said, well, they're leaving because they don't want to see us lose. And I turned around and says, well, I'm going to stay because I want to see us win. And the current fans are so not brainwashed, but used to Coach Franklin's way of losing in the second half. That's what their minds programmed, and that's changing. It's changing under Coach Terry, because we almost pulled Indiana off. We almost pulled that off, and it's just. And then we went to Michigan and won, and then we came this week and we dominated. Period.
I mean,
and it's
Oregon.
Yeah, amen.
Because
I will say that Indiana game, we didn't get outplayed in that game. We outplayed them.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I haven't jumped up and down watching Penn State play football. I was off my couch, leaping up and down, watching that game. I was so excited for those guys.
And I look forward to watching Michigan. I look forward to watching Nebraska. And I'm looking forward to next week. It's just everything from here on out, something to look forward to.
I'm gonna say it now. I think Terry Smith should be the head coach, because what do we have to lose, honestly?
Yeah.
What do we have to lose? Our head coach is already at Penn State. If you go and Chris Sims, he was on there tonight, and I like Chris Sims. I like the NBC crew. I think they're all pretty good. They got a woman on there. I don't know her name, but she seems pretty solid too. He said, if you take Terry Smith with the same assistants, like the same assistants as James Franklin, you fired Franklin, then you keep the same assistants, you think you're going to expect different results. And it's like, well, Chris, he's the head coach now. He has all the control, and he can make changes if he wants. So I think he should be the head coach. But Chris, Oregon game, when they went down 14-3, I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, immediately after that game, I said he needs to be fired right now. Like, because I was like, are you kidding me? We had he said all off season, we have everything. We have this, we have that. And you lose at home in the whiteout to Oregon. Like the most, of course we did. I mean, you know, I think that's a good example of what you just said, Aaron. Like, it's like the same thing every time, you know?
Yeah, I used to predict Penn State seasons in advance by literally watching the first 3 games. Because the first 3 games, what I was looking for was, were they not going to show up for 30 minutes of a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they didn't, I knew that same mentality's still there, man. They haven't fixed it. And it's going to bite them when they got to play real teams who don't back down for 60 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Very good point.
Today,
Thomas,
they played the whole game today.
They sure did.
Yeah, they did.
Fantastic.
Thomas, you have anything else to say about the win? We'll move on to the rushing record, Terry Smith.
I just wanted to say, yeah, they played for 60 minutes. Just reiterate that again. There was, at the end, you could see the defense just teeing off on the offense, on Nebraska's offense. It was like sharks to blood in the water. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. It stinks that Singleton, after Allen was semi-hurt on the outside run to the out of bounds, that he didn't get the rock to get his 44th touchdown to put him over Saquon. Kind of talking to you about it a little bit. I didn't want to see him get hurt for Rutgers, because everybody wants to see Penn State win Rutgers and then go into a bowl game and win that. Kind of saw a still image of Singleton on the sideline after Allen scored that touchdown, and it was bittersweet. He was like, man, it couldn't have happened to a better guy, but that should have been me. And I bet that fuels him at Rutgers this week going forward. Just wanted to say that. I think it was a great win.
Absolutely.
Singleton had way better vision today. Like, even when he didn't take the right cut, he was pushing through there. He would get that extra 3 or 4 Kaytron Allen yards. I haven't seen that from Nick all year. So even his bad runs, he made something happen out of it. So he had a lot of fight today. So shout out to Singleton. Obviously, Kaytron's a freaking maniac, dude. He's the all-time leading rusher for Penn State. So
he just rushes. He does not give up on a play. He just keeps pushing his legs. He's got massive legs. Aaron, do you think they've simplified the offense?
I think what they've done, if I had to guess, watching the tape, I was running back through it a little bit after the game. Something that I noticed was it seemed like they were moving the zone blocks a little differently in this game, and it actually looked a lot. If you look at Kotelnicki's tape from when he was in Kansas, it looks a lot more like what they were doing there, and especially in the run game. The run game was really noticeable. Pass game, I think they were teeing off of the run game because the run game was working so good that the play action was just dynamite. Every time they used it, it was just beautiful execution. And what that did is that zone blocking scheme, I think it messed with Nebraska's line, because every time Nebraska would try to line their hats up with Penn State, that zone block would shift to where they were missing 2 people in that hole that they needed to have on Nebraska's side. And that was what Kotelnicki did really good at Kansas. And I don't know if Franklin was keeping him from doing that. I don't know what was going on. But it seems like Terry Smith has figured out, has got he's got things copacetic in that room with everybody. And everybody's on the same page. They're playing complementary football now. And it looked very different than what I've seen. I was kind of on maybe Coach K doesn't come back next year wagon. Yeah. But if he has that room copacetic and everybody's happy and this is working, Coach K, I could see him recovering.
Right.
Possible.
I agree.
Also,
Antoine said, betting line against spread, James Franklin 0-6, Terry Smith 4-1.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
That's funny.
That's insane. And if he would have beat Indiana, real quick, Brett, he would have had the same amount of big wins in 2 weeks as Franklin had in 12 years. So, but Terry Waring 409. Yeah, that was Yeah, that's. Whew. Yeah, that's awesome. He was wearing that, man. Seriously. Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm sure you guys have noticed, but Penn State's best running play that they keep going back to is their counter pull. They're pulling their guys out, so it kind of looks like wide zone, but their counter pull run with Kaytron Allen it's unstoppable. Every time they do it, he gets positive yards or a touchdown. It's pretty crazy. So they're going to keep going back to that because if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we're going to see that against Rutgers, and they're not going to have an answer for it. So.
Yeah.
They had a touchdown tonight where they faked that, and they did a throw to the flats to Singleton, I believe it was, and it was beautiful. It was a perfect setup from the counter play, the counter zone. So there's like 4 or 5 plays now instead of all these other gadget trick plays that they're doing. They're just focused on 5 or 6 plays and they're just rolling at it. And Nebraska had no idea first quarter through fourth quarter what was going on. A couple of series in the third that panned out to 3 and outs, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and Nebraska was throwing the book at Penn State on defense. They switched out of bear, they switched into 2 high safety. They were in and out of everything trying to find a solution. But Kotelnicki had them spinning in circles in that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yep. Yeah, man, they were really like Nebraska was really trying to stop us, and they could not. Like Chris said, there's Jared. Like Thomas said, they were switching up the running backs on during run plays where they run Kaytron, then they run Nick, and you can't adjust to a speedy back and a power rush and a power back. Like that's hard to adjust to, especially like that quickly. Like they were the offense that I think Andy K somewhat wanted to run. They're running it now, it seems, So, yeah.
Were they both in the game at the same time?
Yeah, they were several times.
Okay. That's really confusing to defense.
Absolutely.
Yep, they had Nick behind Grunk. They had Kaytron off to the side and Nick behind him. And that messes with the defense, right?
What's the defense thinking? What are they thinking?
Well, they think probably Kaytron's going to get it because he's getting more carries, but it doesn't matter because Kaytron's like, all right, cool.
I mean, the fact that Matt Rule, and by the way, just to remind you guys, it was 2 lettermen of Joe Paterno tonight coaching as head coaches, which again, like that, I can't put into words, what Terry Smith is doing wearing the 409 pin. Like I know that sounds a little tacky, but I can't put into words, how amazing that is. And at this point, if you don't hire him as the head coach, it's like, because I think you take emotion out. I think he should absolutely have an opportunity to be the head coach,
He played for the 409 coach. That's the interesting part,
Yeah.
Exactly.
He played for
and that's why first of all, just because you play for Joe Paterno doesn't mean you can coach a team. But he did, and he can clearly coach a team. And this team is so different. We are literally looking at a different team. This is a team that we have not seen in 12 years. So, and Michael Robinson at halftime, he said, I'm tired of coaches coming here and trying to take money from our program, and that's it. He's like, Terry Smith is a Penn State guy. He bleeds blue and white. I mean, you guys know me. I'll welcome any shots at Franklin. So.
No, it was senior night, and we're losing a big 33, and we're losing Nick and Kaytron. So who's going to replace those next year? That's my question.
Well, we have so much young talent. I mean, we have Cam Wallace, we have Tyke Hayes, we have Quentin Martin, Chaz Coleman, Yvonne Kamaju. I mean, we have guys, but yeah, you're right. I mean, unfortunately, these seniors, man, when they came in 2022 class, I had so much hope for them, and this is how it ends. That is so sad.
I will say, Mark, I do want to say this though for the team. Sometimes these are the years that are the most important for any program, right? It's not what you do when you're up, it's what you do when you're down. And yes, the media may not care, but Penn State fans remember this stuff because this is how you save a program.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Penn State, Pat Kraft and the guys, they got to at least interview Terry Smith because he has not been interviewed. You have to interview the guy.
He said he hasn't, and I mean, do you think he's being honest about that? Like, I don't know because he seems to be extremely honest. But why?
I think he was honest. I mean, it's possible they told him not to say anything, but
I think he hasn't interviewed, and he said during his press conference that his resume is what he's doing with the team right now, live in front of.
He's such an old school guy. Like, it's great.
Yeah, I do like that about him.
Now, I will ask this and just throw this out there into the ether. What do you think? Because most people are heavily on Bob Chesney right now, and he's young, but he doesn't really have a proven record. What's to say that you keep Terry, you retain Terry as a head coach, and you try to get Bob Chesney as more of that up-and-coming Terry Smith type of person that can be that next leader for the program? If he's not ready just right now, a couple of years, Terry at the helm, him as an assistant, with how motivative he can be, with what he's done to Holy Cross, what he's done to JMU after Signetti.
I want a lower tier head coach or an assistant. I don't really want a big name coach like Kalen DeBoer. I really don't want Kalen DeBoer.
Kalen DeBoer is going to run 13 personnel and do pretty much what James Franklin was trying to do with our big 3 wide receivers. I mean, he doesn't really run a tight end. He runs one running back, and it's a very vanilla spread. I mean, what you got right now is with Terry and what we've been seeing these past couple of weeks. I mean, that's the wrinkle of what you really want with Penn State going forward.
Yeah. Alabama can't run the ball. Yeah, they
have a good running back, but he gets hurt.
Yeah, I personally want a Bob Chesney, an Eric Morris, or a Brian Hartline, like a lower tier school guy, and not because of Signetti. That's an anomaly, really. But Bob Chesney was under Signetti, and Signetti passed the reins to him.
Mm-hmm.
A young guy or a guy at a smaller school who's going to come in, I think he'll truly appreciate, I'm in a big job now, and it's like my first big time job. And a guy like Terry Smith being there, absolutely. Like, Terry Smith is Penn State, so you're going to have a Penn State guy with you right away. So if it's not Terry Smith, then I hope it's one of those guys. Like, again, any of you guys want to talk, just start talking. But it's like, if it's not Terry Smith, I really don't want like a big, like a SEC coach. It's like, if they're going to leave their school, they're going to leave us too. So
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. We don't hire and fire coaches at Penn State. We don't do that. In my lifetime, my teams have had 6 coaches between the Steelers and Penn State, minus the interim coaches. My lifetime, my coaches have had 6. I've had 6 coaches. That's it. Or I'm sorry, 5 coaches since Bill Cowher. So 5 coaches my teams have had since I've been alive. I mean, that's,
Well, I was on the fence about it.
Terry's been in it for what, 6 weeks and 5 games already, so he knows.
Yep.
He knows what it's going to take to keep it. I mean, he either wants it or he don't. It's 6 weeks into it and 5 games. It's in his mind. Do I want to do this? And if he wants to,
he
wants give it to him.
Dad, he has so many Letterman hitting him up right now that are like, and there's multiple videos saying, like Thomas sent me one earlier. There's so many Letterman right now saying, we didn't have this support under Franklin because no one liked him. Okay, that was another thing that I thought was horrible about him being here is no one liked him.
Yeah.
And these Lettermen, they're going to be fully invested. They're going to have so much financial support. especially under Terry Smith. Are you kidding me? Because they wronged Joe Paterno at Penn State. Terry Smith is almost the redemption of Joe Paterno playing under him coming in. I mean, wearing a 409 Joe pin. I mean, that's who does that? You know what I mean? So
I would, but
I would too. 100%.
How's the locker room? Does anybody know how the locker room is? Like, what's
They
going
love
on in
Terry.
there?
Yeah,
look what somebody just commented. Look what Joe just said. Tony Rojas said, "Coach Tier nobody" on Instagram.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, that was what I've been hearing too.
They want him, dude.
Wow.
They want him. Tony Rojas will come back to Penn State next year if they keep Coach Terry.
Okay.
Yeah. See, at this point, they love him so much, and it's like, honestly, it's like no surprise. But at this point, they love him so much. He's doing stuff that it must be like, like he must just really be bringing his team together.
Yeah.
He brought him there.
Keeps it $150, man, every day.
Him.
Frankie Boy doesn't.
Listen, after tonight, I am completely sold on Terry Smith because it is one thing for you to be, what was it, 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, whatever they did, and they faked the punt with Luke Reynolds. Yep. That one block that one kid gave, number 52, I do not know this kid off the top of my head, but watching
Dominic
him,
Rowley, I think is who it was.
That was such a brilliant tackle by him, and then you watched Luke Reynolds just run down that field. There's something that you just don't get from a James Franklin coach team. You don't see that type of momentum. You don't see that type of enthusiasm. There is just everything that went right for Penn State tonight was because of the atmosphere in that coaching staff with Terry Smith in the helm. That is something special. You can't teach that. You cannot find that. That is a very, very inner, like, you know, if you want to know if you're a coach, those types of moments, that's where it comes from. Then you know that you deserve to have at least a shot. I just honestly think that Terry Smith is the answer at Penn State. I agree with Mark. If it's not him, then I would say Brian Hartline would be the guy I would go with if it's not Terry. And if Terry's not at least involved with Penn State after this season, I mean, it would just be almost criminal. Because, again, seeing him wear that pin was just, I was like, yes, absolutely. This is so great to know that tradition still lives at Penn State. That's what it comes down to. There are certain universities that just, they talk about their traditions like, yeah, we have the history, we have the records, we have all the players. Like, that's just what we have. But Penn State just breeds tradition. It just breeds that type of atmosphere and that just old world. Like, you just can't find it. It's a very hard thing to find in a university, and it's everywhere. Like, you talk to anyone who talks like Penn State, they just always like to have a big smile on their face because you bring up anyone, you know, just bring up Jai Carter or just bring up LeVar Arrington, bring up, you know, anyone from the 70s, 80s. It's just, they just have a big smile on their face because everyone always contributed. Everyone always had something to say about their history. And now Kaytron Allen and now Nick Singleton, one of the greatest running back tandems that you're ever going to see in the history of college football is at Penn State. They own it. So again, senior night, you can't ask for better time. Like, it's a really remarkable thing how we were witnessing probably the darkest moments in the history of Penn State. And in these last few games, it's just like gone. It's amazing what happens when winning. And winning races everything. It makes everything all better. It really does.
They have to tie the tradition in with the modern day football 100%. I mean, you can't, you know, one thing about Joe is he was pretty conservative. He was a football guy through and through, but he was pretty conservative, and that hurt him at times for sure. In terms of adapting offenses, you know, there were some boring games under Joe Paterno. So adapting to the new age of football, we need to do that for sure. But Aaron, you're a Penn State fan?
Yeah, I've been a Penn State fan since I was about 3 years old.
All right, awesome.
And you know, when I talk about like Terry Smith here, I kind of want one of your guys' thoughts on this too. I can't, if I was talking to Pat Kraft, if I got to talk to him about it, what I would say to him is, I can't tell you that Terry Smith is going to work out, but I know what the right decision is. And the right decision is to keep him. Make him the head coach because it's the right thing to do, not necessarily because it guarantees you anything, and it's not going to move the needle nationally, but look at what moving the needle nationally has done for you. All right. Why don't we try to just do the right thing this time?
Yeah, it's all about the players and coaching the players. That's what he does. He doesn't just love them like Franklin did, supposedly. So, as Penn State fans, besides Thomas, who's a college football fan, he's not like a diehard Penn State fan. All of you on tonight, all of you guys on here, do you feel differently right now than what you have for the past several years? I mean,
yeah. Like I said, I'm looking forward to next week's game. It's under Franklin. I didn't think they would beat Rutgers, right?
And here's a prime example. At halftime, guys, did you watch what Terry Smith said? They said, "How's everything going?" He's like, "Yeah, we're doing pretty good. There's a lot of things to clean up. This half doesn't matter. The second half matters now." Like that type of wordplay, like Terry Smith, that's legendary, man. No, like Frankie Boy would have never been in that position to say that. So
and when they came out after the half and didn't come out flat and put 7 on the board right away, you knew something was different.
I mean, and guys, this is Nebraska football. This is old school Penn State Nebraska football. I don't care. Nebraska is not a bad team at all. I don't care if they have a backup or not. Dylan Raiola wasn't doing that good as a starter anyway. So, I mean, this is not a bad team that we played tonight, and we beat the brakes off of them. I mean, holy crap.
It was bad.
Yeah.
We did. It wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't.
At field level, they were big boys. I mean, they were right 30 yards from me, and they were big. And I think
someone in chat
how are we going to beat these guys? Wow.
I think someone in chat mentioned it, Mark Sr. They were 3rd against the pass in the NCAA.
Yeah. It's just
these guys were no joke.
I mean,
where was that, Aaron?
It was somewhere back in chat. I think somebody mentioned that. I didn't check the stats myself, but I think they were like 3rd against the pass and like 15th overall on defense or something like that.
Yeah. So their rush defense is 100th, whatever, but their total defense is good. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they were.
So they're not letting people score as many points. They're giving them yards. But tonight we got the points, guys. So
would you say, Thomas?
I said I saw that stat sheet you had up.
Yeah.
Was Grunk 11 for 12 tonight?
11 for 12. 181 yards, 2 tutties.
By the way, you take a guy like Ethan Gronkmeyer, who's a freshman, and he's playing the way he is. That's unbelievable in terms of his preparation from his staff.
91%.
I mean, that's insane, guys. Sorry, I'm not answering the comments. We're just all going back and forth here, but yeah, I mean.
But, you start out this season, Buds. I mean, you look at Franklin and you look at Drew Aller. And we're like, okay, we're going to win a national championship this year. And then everything happens, what goes down. Franklin gets fired. Aller goes down for the season. And then all of a sudden you inject Terry Smith and Grunkenmeyer, and you're just like, why does this team look so much better with these guys? How in the world is this possible? This is like totally a 180 magic trick that they are pulling off. Like I'm completely in awe of what I'm witnessing. Seeing a freshman like Grunkenmeyer go 11 for 12. And just again, this was senior night. This was Allen and Singleton's night to have. So they had every right to run up and down that field the way they did. But to see him just control the game with such a poise, with just such command, like I'm blown away. Like this right here is just like, hey, you're a freshman, man. You come back as a sophomore. You have a little more momentum. Hey, we could very well win 9 or 10 games next year. There's no reason or shame to think that we can't at least look as good as we can with what we're witnessing from that. So, I mean, again, Terry Smith just doing what he does with a freshman, like this is just unbelievable. Like to see this team look so different with these guys at the helm. Like Unbelievable.
Yeah, Antoine said I was sold on Terry Smith after IU. I was sold on him after Iowa, so that's when I was sold on him. They went on the road. They went in on the road to that horrendous fan base and lost by 1, and they pretty much handed them the game. With 20 hours of preparation after your head coach being fired and losing to Northwestern.
I was sold on him when he said his dad was a 68 graduate, and he was a graduate. Penn State blood. He's not going to embarrass Penn State. He's not going to
Terry Smith was a large part of our recruiting, like Chris said. So again, what's give him an opportunity? I mean, why not?
I agree. Yeah, what a tough slate too for him to start with. I have to go to Kinnick and Columbus, then play a number 2 team in the country with a freshman quarterback. I mean, when people were saying, "Oh, he didn't win," I'm like, "Well, what did you expect, man? He's brand new to this. Give him a couple of weeks."
Franklin Natty said, somehow he's still in here. He said Terry Smith will be a Hokie. All right, it's the practical thing to do if the players all love Terry. All right.
You think there's going to be a petition up at State to Kraft?
Yeah, 100%.
How many signatures? I want on it.
I mean, guys, Matt from Penn State jerseys, like that guy, he made those signs and the players have them, Matt knows all of those people. Like Matt literally has I don't know if you guys, I don't know, Aaron, if you've seen Matt on here, but he has those guys like armbands, their headbands, their socks,
jerseys, everything.
Like their teddy bear when they were like 3 years old. I mean, he has everything. So, but that was his signs, man. He's handing them out. So, I mean, thanks, Matt. You started this whole thing. So,
yeah. Well, you've opened the can now, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, but Matt knows his stuff. He really does. I mean, he's very knowledgeable. So, yeah. But I don't know. You guys have anything else to say? Aaron, it was great to have you on. Thomas, good to have you on.
Great having you guys on.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Aaron, where are you out of? And Thomas, where are you guys living?
You first, Thomas.
I'm out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Where is it?
Latrobe. It's
Westmoreland
County near Greensburg.
Yeah. Latrobe.
Yeah, we were just we were in Latrobe this summer, Thomas. We went to Orlando, so we flew out of Latrobe. But State College will have direct flights to Orlando soon.
Oh,
which
wow.
is nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. How about that?
What about you, Aaron?
I'm from Dover, Pennsylvania. Originally from a tiny little town called Seven Valleys. I was an old farmer out there, Pennsylvania.
What county is that?
It's in York County. York Adams County.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with counties because I work for a company. We have facilities all throughout Pennsylvania. Right. I got the map here, so I'm good with counties, but towns, I don't.
Yeah.
York Barbell, Aaron. That's what I know York by.
We got a facility in York, Pyramid Healthcare. That's where.
Do you really? Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. I'm an IT solutions guy for about 200 companies from here to mostly in this area, but from here all the way down to North Carolina and out to Michigan.
Nice.
York.
All right. All Pennsylvania guys, I think. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas and Aaron, thank you for your service. Aaron, you got your uniform back there, huh? What branch are you?
I was regular Army.
Okay.
The red hat. I was an airborne guy.
Oh,
airborne.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you for your service, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your service, guys. Appreciate it. One last thing before we hop off. Franklin updated staff. OC Chesney, DC Terry Smith, tight end Troutwine. All right, so he's taking the whole staff with him. Okay, sounds good. Again, go to the library, man. You need, or I don't know where you need to go. You need to go to a mental ward or something. But anyway, I'm a Penn State fan in Ohio. Nice.
We'll take that. Yeah.
Enemy territory. All right, guys. Well, again, thanks for coming on. I want to have you guys on here more. Like, Aaron, you've been on here a long time. And,
I've been watching for a long time, man.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to come on if you just hit me up on email. I'll be
sure.
Just give me a little heads up. I can usually jump on. So
All right. Yeah, and we watch our guy Landon. He has a great show, man. Landon's killing it.
Yeah.
Good for.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, you think about it, like it's like couldn't happen to a better guy. He's such a nice guy. And he played for Penn State. It's like, of course, like you wish him nothing but success. So, but
I have one
you guys
more
can
thing.
yeah, go ahead.
Penn State was always known as a linebacker U. Seems like it's turning into a defensive end U now. But what's your opinion on the our linebackers in the future?
Lamar Campbell looked very good, and Alex Tash looked good today. So
Yeah, we have backups playing. Like we'll be linebacker U again. We just had a absolute clown as our head coach. That's my opinion. So
Tony Rojas being hurt us too. So
okay,
hurt us.
Hey, let's take the lights out of the tunnel until we become linebacker U again. How about that?
There you go.
Amen.
All right.
LeVar Arrington II will play next year. So.
Yeah, how about that too? We got him coming in. Yeah. All right, guys. You guys can stay on here after I close down if you want. We'll talk. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. I normally answer all the comments, but we just just couldn't get to it tonight. We'll be on tomorrow. Matt should be on tomorrow from Penn State jerseys. He could tell us about a sign and how he gave it to the whole team after the game. So, all right, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Nice.
Take care.
Bye.
God bless.
See you guys.